Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to the Weekly Bros podcast here at Miscellaneous Debris. I am Matthew. I am once again joined by my brother from my only mother, Richard. How are you, sir? How's it going?
Very good, Matthew. Thank you for having me back.
Not a problem at all. So this week is going to be a very, very fun week for us because we are going to be talking about villains. You know, you can't have a good hero without a good villain, and some would say that that's the whole reason to go see the film in the first place. So what we did was we ranked our top 5 villains. Now, what about this list should we let people know?
Well, we had to come up with some kind of numerical value to grade to, give our list rankings. So we did that. And we had several categories we had to come up with. There's 6 categories in total. The first one is scary, and it's not so much was the viewer scared of this character. It's how scary was the character to the other people in the film.
Yeah, so not the people in the audience themselves, but the actual characters in the film.
Yes. Did Freddy Krueger really scare the crap out of all those kids on Elm Street?
Yeah.
Not how much I jumped out of my seat.
And so the next one was a badass. So how much of a badass are in this film? So the word badass can kind of be subjective depending on who you're talking about and who you're talking to. So when you hear our picks, we'll sort of touch on that. So what about the next one?
The next category we have is diabolical. How diabolical is this character in his or her film?
And if you don't know what the word diabolical is, get a dictionary, start from the beginning, and go from there. The next one is kick-ass, the kick-ass scale. Not like Kick-Ass the movie, but how much ass did you kick in this film? Like, are you Jason Statham, or are you like the psychological ass kicker as in John Doe from Seven?
On a side note, I did like the movie Kick-Ass.
I still have not seen that movie.
I'm going to end this podcast right now.
But I do know that both Quicksilvers are in that movie, right? Aaron Taylor Johnson and
yes.
And what's his face from? Why can I not think of his Evans Peter? Peter Evans? Evans Peter?
I don't know. That's a weird name.
That is a weird name. I think it's Evans Peter.
Sure. Anyways.
So ruthlessness. How ruthless are you in this film? And then our final grade, which may have swayed some of these decisions, but is personal grade. How do you feel about this pick on a scale of 1 to 10? So
if I didn't like you or I didn't like your movie, you're going to get a low personal grade.
Yeah. Now, the problem with doing a list like this, and Rick and I both came into this problem, was the fact that you get a list down, and then you rank all those lists. You're like, wow, man, that's a lot of villains. And then all of a sudden you think of one. Like, crap, well, I got to add him. Then, crap, well, what about this one? Well, you keep adding and adding and adding, and at some point you have to cut it off, right?
Yes. I must say that over the last week, this list has changed dramatically. It's grown. I mean, it's people that were number 2 are now number 10. You know how this thing goes.
So, you were compiling your list. You're getting your list done. You keep adding and adding and adding and adding. And Rick and I were speaking earlier today, and I told him that at 8 o'clock my list was solid. It was top. It was done. It was solidified. 4:30 in the afternoon, I'm looking at my list and I'm going, maybe if I add this person, something might happen. And then now my list is completely different than it was at 4:30 when I spoke to you, or 8:30 when I was starting to prep. So
you might as well just start over.
Yeah, right.
Start fresh.
Damn it! I'm throwing out this list. It's done. We're out. We're out.
Well, anyways, let's get on with the countdown.
Yeah. So obviously, we do have more than 5. That we do have our top 10s in front of us here. We're only going to talk about the top 5, but we're going to go through our 10 through 6 really quickly.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's important to at least say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then we'll talk about each one of our top 5.
What were you saying earlier about this list? That it's we have to keep in mind that this is subjective.
This is the totally arbitrary, completely subjective, non-definitive, all-time top 5 villains.
I absolutely love it. All right, so let's start with my number 10 is Jules and Vincent from Pulp Fiction.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. My number 10 was
number 10.
Gruber.
Hans Gruber. Hans Gruber cracked the top 10. Oh, man. He was in my top 10 at one point in time, and then he
was
left.
In my top 3 at one point. I don't know how all these things go.
All right, you're number 9.
Darth Sidious.
Palpatine. I like it.
The Emperor.
I like it. Good pick.
Yeah.
My number 9 is Hannibal Lecter.
Good character. Love the character.
Yes, absolutely, and absolutely terrifying watching it as a young child. It rubs the lotion on out of my head. Okay, so number 8 for me is a character near and dear to every nerd's heart, Agent Smith from the Matrix series.
Ah, Mr. Smith.
Yes, Mr. Anderson.
I was a bigger fan of Mrs. Smith.
I believe you're thinking of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, starring Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt.
I totally am.
Oh, well good.
At number 8, I have Commodus from the awesome movie Gladiator.
Yes, absolutely fantastic. He's really that character is a reason why I didn't like Joaquin Phoenix because I hated that character so much.
He's just a complete prick.
Yeah, absolutely. Your number 7 pick, Rick.
It's Bruce. Bruce the shark from Jaws.
Bruce the shark making an appearance, cracking the top 10. I like it. My number 7 is a little bit higher than yours, but Darth Sidious, the Emperor, Palpatine.
Yeah, how can he not be at least in the top 10?
Exactly.
Very good.
You know what? To be honest with you, I think you and I having Palpatine, at least in the top 10, is somewhat a bit of foreshadowing for things to come. It's just a guess. I don't know what your list is. I haven't seen it. I told him not to tell me.
There was full disclosure. We have not discussed our top anything.
Yes, we discussed rankings and how we perceive things, but we did not give our lists.
We did not want to cross the streams. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want to cross contamination.
Yep.
Anyways, who do you got for number 6 there?
Number 6, I have the man that no one wants to see on my favorite holiday, and that's Michael Myers from the Halloween series.
Ah, yes, Mr. Michael Myers.
Yes.
Makes an appearance and then he's gone. I don't know what he does for 10, 15 years. They make another Michael Myers movie. Apparently,
he doesn't age either. He's one of those villains that doesn't age.
The mask, it hides it very well.
Yes. Your number 6 was?
He was almost in my top 5. We didn't quite make it the cut though. Obviously, It's Loki.
Oh, doesn't crack the top 5, man.
Nope. Nope. I loved him. I love his character, and I wish him well in Infinity War. But he didn't make top 5.
On to the top. My number 6 was Michael Myers.
Double M, Eminem.
On to the top 5, so we can get down to the nitty gritty here. Rick, you are the elder of the group here, so why don't you go first?
Thank you. Elders first. I appreciate that. You're very, our mom raised us right.
And your number 5 is
John Doe.
John Doe from 7. I like it. Yes. I like the pick.
John Doe from 7.
It's weird in that film that you don't see the character until the third act. You have no idea who he is.
Nope.
And then the big reveal and the reveal, the fact that it's Kevin Spacey of all people. He was not listed in the credits. He was not advertised for the film. He didn't do any of the press. Oh man, good pick. I like it.
Yeah, he got a high personal grade for me of 9 out of 10. So that always helps. But I gave him a 10 for ruthlessness.
Oh, absolutely.
To be able to dissect that guy for a year and keep him alive barely.
Oh, yeah.
That's and the same thing with diabolicalness. He got a 10 for that.
Yep.
For the same reasons. He's a sick mind, and he's going to get what he wants.
Yeah.
And he's patient, and he's just evil. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I couldn't. I'm happy he made my top 5. It was close between him and Loki, but.
If Loki's going to lose anybody, it should be John Doe. I had almost the same in both Diabolical and Ruthlessness. I had 9s for him.
Did you know?
I only gave out 10s for going that extra step.
You're one of those a-hole professors.
Yeah, I know, right? My number 5 is the clown prince of crime himself. That would be the Joker, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
So, I'm saying Joker as the character, not any one's particular portrayal of the Joker, although Heath Ledger's is the best portrayal of the Joker. I did enjoy Jared Leto's interpretation of the Joker as well. It was never going to be as good as Heath Ledger.
Right.
But he put forth as best effort as he could with that one. But, he has, I don't know if you know this, 23 appearances in both animated and live action film. 23.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. So he has no backstory. He has none. So no one knows where this guy came from. He just started causing shit for Batman. But going back into a very popular book, The Killing Joke, he did have a line in there that says, "If I'm going to have an origin, I prefer it to be multiple choice," because there was an ongoing thing with DC Comics. They kept rewriting his origin story. But the character, he's psycho. He just wants to torture him, and I think that's almost just as worse.
He's Batman is the yin to his yang. They're connected.
But so I gave him So his overall score was 45 points. He scored.
You gave the Joker 45. Okay.
I gave the Joker 45. So
for full disclosure, for John Doe, I had him at 47.
I had him a 6 on the scary. I don't like clowns myself. They terrify me to death. But the people in the film, I could either see being completely freaked out or just sitting there with the look on their face like, this is a grown-ass man dressed like a clown. It's weird. Badass.
Smile.
The badass, I gave him a 10. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. And the reason I did that, there's a particular scene in the film. You may have seen it. So the Joker walks into a room full of gangsters who themselves are all armed and dangerous, have probably killed a whole bunch of people, just walks in, laughs at them, kills one of their guys, tells them that he stole their money, threatens them, and then just kind of walks away.
Takes balls.
Dude, balls of steel. Balls of vibranium. Balls of vibranium with that guy. But it's diabolical. I gave him a 9. I gave him a 1 in Kick-Ass because, yeah. I mean, whose ass is he kicking?
Well, that's why I had him down for 4 for Kick-Ass.
4? You were a lot kinder than I was. But Ruthlessness, I gave a 9, and I gave a personal grade of 9 because I am a mark for the Joker, and I'm a mark for comic books. So
you sucker! You fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah.
All right. Let's move on to number 4. Matt, what do you have for number 4?
Number 4, I have the man that both made me laugh, made me cry, and made me afraid to go to bed at night. Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Thank you. So first of all, going with the scary score of 9 because fucking look at the guy. I mean,
well, that's what he does, right?
Yeah,
he scares kids.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of like the whole point of the character. Like I said, I'm stingy with those 10s. I don't want to go full on it. Badass, I gave a 9 because I mean, chasing people down, as skinny as that dude is, with just some knives on your hands.
Yeah,
diabolical. He got an 8. Kick-Ass 5. Ruthlessness an 8, and a personal grade of 7. Because
nice.
I mean, because he was a really big villain for me. Growing up, of course, you and I watching the horror. You and I were young, watching the absolute worst things we could possibly be watching.
Chud, remember Chud?
Yes, cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good call. I totally forgot that.
I'm here to entertain and inform.
Back to Freddy Krueger, though, because I don't want to talk about Chud. I just wanted to make a comment.
Yeah, well, I got you.
No, I understand. I mean, he was scary to me. I gave him an 8. Badass, I gave him an 8. Kick-Ass 7. I mean, he kicks some ass, but, I mean, he's kind of a pushover sometimes. He's evil as hell. He got some high marks for me, but I gave him a really low personal grade, and they just flunked him out of my top.
What was the personal grade?
I gave him a 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's man. Out
of all the people I ranked, he got my lowest personal grade.
That is low. I don't know. I don't think I gave anybody a 1. Man.
He was my, out of all the people I ranked, he was my least favorite person on the list. I didn't like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I thought they're cheesy. I don't know. The character to me is just weird. I don't know. He's got knives in his fingers.
When you look at it on paper, it is kind of silly. Rick, what is your number 4?
This is like a snake draft. It goes back and forth. Well, for my number 4, Matt, I think this is going to surprise you. I know it surprised me. I mean...
Can I guess?
I'm speechless right now. You can take a guess.
It's Vader.
No, it's not Vader.
Ah, damn it.
No, but you had the right movie. It's Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren?
Number 4.
Dude, you're blowing my mind right now. Kylo Ren in the top 5? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not out of my mind.
All right, you
jury's out still.
You need to explain yourself, sir, because this doesn't need some explanation.
All right, so I mean, in the movie, to me, he's not a scary character. In the movie, he scares everybody. He's a Sith, right? Well, we don't really know that for sure.
Yeah.
But, everyone is scared of Kylo Ren. So he got a very high mark for scariness. I give him an 8.
Okay.
I'm
not going to lie to you. I have no rankings for him because I didn't even think to put him onto a list.
Well, then you need to check yourself in.
Wow.
A clinic.
You
know what I'm saying?
I'm having a hard time processing this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gave Kylo Ren a 9 for scary.
Wow. The hits just keep on coming.
Well, let's go through this and you're going to...
Yeah, okay. All right, okay. I'm listening.
For a badass, I gave him a 7. Because he's got Jedi skills. He's a badass in the films.
Okay, if I were ranking him, I would give him, just off the top of my head, I would give him at least an 8 or a 9. I mean, to be a Jedi badass, I mean, like you look at the guy and I mean, he's got the saber skills. He's got the force techniques that he uses. It's badass. It's badass.
Well, I get it, and you'll. I mean, maybe later on when you see later on in the list, you'll see why I gave him such a lower grade than an 8 or 9 or a 10.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have next? Kick-Ass. So for Kick-Ass, I gave him a 10 because he kicks some major ass.
10?
I wish people could see the video of this right now because my brother's face is just like he's flabbergasted.
I am literally
totally and utterly flabbergasted.
I am. What can I say? Wow. All right.
I know. Diabolicalness, I gave him a 5.
He is a pretty shitty planner, and to be diabolical, you have to be a really good planner.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he has much of a plan. He's kind of like the Joker.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know what to do if it.
I don't know. I'm just a dog chasing cars.
So ruthlessness, I gave him a 9. I mean,
absolutely, he killed his dad.
It's got right.
Yeah.
What do I have for notes? I mean, he killed his mentor in Snoke, He wanted to kill Luke. He still wants to kill Luke.
Yeah.
And he'll do anything to get what he wants. He killed Han Solo in cold blood.
Yeah.
He orders and kills anyone and anything to further his beliefs. He's just a complete... It's ruthless, man. It's nuts. And I gave him a personal grade of 8.
Yeah, oh, man.
It's because, I mean... I'm a sucker for Star Wars.
Hey man, you're making valid points here. So I can't. I can say that I am flabbergasted because I am, but your points are very valid. So it is a substantial pick.
Right. Well, it took some mox, took some balls to put him on the list. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I've got some big balls. So I mean, Kylo Ren to me, I'm not a huge fan of the character. I mean, I like him. But he's kind of a whiny bitch sometimes.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
So but that wasn't one of the categories we were putting.
Yeah. Exactly. We're talking about. Oh man, maybe we should put that in for one of our next rankings, whatever they are.
What's your emo ranking for Kylo Ren, by the way? 1 out of 10.
My emo ranking?
Yes.
How I feel about the character? I'd give him I'd probbe give him about a 7.
Yeah, it's got to be high. That might just put him farther up the list.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Damn. Anyway, so that's Kylo Ren. I just blew your mind.
You did.
Blow my mind with your 4th pick.
Why don't you blow my mind one more time? What's your number 3 pick?
All right. It's from my second favorite trilogy of movies, The Lord of the Rings. It's Sauron.
Oh, you put Sauron in the top 5, huh? I did have him down on my list, but he did not. He had an overall. Ooh, you're gonna hate me. He had an overall total of 26.
Well,
26.
It just goes to show you got your head way up your ass.
So talk to me about this, man.
Right. So I did break one of the rules on this one because.
I mean, fair point. You did write the rules, so you can break them.
Yeah, why not? In those films, especially The Fellowship of the Ring, when I first saw them in the theater, I was not scared of Sauron, but the emotional connection that all the characters in the film had for Sauron. Like, they heard the name Sauron and they were like, oh my God. They were scared shitless. They wouldn't even utter his name, kind of like a Voldemort. So I gave him 11 out of 10. I upped it one because I thought it went above and beyond the ranking.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
He's a badass. You know, I gave him a 7 for being a badass.
Now, okay, so you and I need to talk about that. So when I was ranking him in his badassness, I gave him a whopping 0. And the reason I did that was because it's an I. What did he do?
Did you not see the movie?
The Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
I saw what he was at the beginning of the film, like when the ring was created, right?
Right.
Okay. And then he was destroyed, and then he became that I, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So in those 3 films, all we did was see him as an eyeball moving around. Everyone else, his minions, were waging the real war. Were doing all the fighting. So to me, that is not being much of a badass.
Okay. Understandably. And I those are legit concerns, and I completely agree with everything you're saying. Now, I will say that in the beginning of the Fellowship of the Ring, they do show him fighting against the armies of men and elves.
Yeah.
On the slopes of Mount Doom.
Yes. Yes.
And he is a complete and total badass. Even for those 2 minutes he's on screen, you know he is the boss. He's in charge. He's going to do whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants in those 5 minutes of scenes that he's in at the beginning of the Fellowship of the Ring. So to me, I understand. I like I said, I did battle some of these choices I had to make, but in the end, I felt that was good enough for him to be, a good mark for being a badass.
Well, you're making some valid points here. So what did you give him in the diabolical range here?
Diabolical, I gave him a 9.
I gave him an 8, so we were kind of on the same page there.
Very high marks.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't have to commit the crimes yourself to be diabolical.
Right. I mean, well, no, he sends his minions out to do all his dirty work, and he just sits back and
has a couple margaritas, reads the paper, finds out how his stocks are doing.
So when I say kick-ass, I put down a 5, and I'm going to go ahead and contradict everything I just said about being a badass, because overall, he doesn't really kick a lot of ass in the films, because like you said, he is an eyeball.
Yeah, I gave him I gave him a 2. I gave him a 2.
So he gets a 5 though, because the scene that he is, I mean, he's wailing away on those guys, and he is beating some serious ass.
Well, that 2 for kick-ass was based on those 3 or 4 minutes of film.
So ruthlessness, I gave him a 10. I just think he was, that's as bad, and he's going to do whatever he has to do. He's going to send out whoever he has to send out. He is going to get that damn ring. He's going to kill whatever it takes. He's going to get the job done.
So, all right. So answer me a question here. How does he communicate? Is it ever explained?
Well, I mean,
I'm genuinely asking because I honestly don't know.
Well, no, I think the only times he really communicates with anyone is when they have the ring on, and then Sauron can see that person with the ring, and at that moment, all he can do is see you. I think for a little bit in The Hobbit, one of the necromancers, I think they talked to Gandalf. But I'm not really sure. It's been a while since I've seen that film. So
it is I think
that was an embodiment of Sauron, and he may have talked. I think he does talk to them.
Right.
Talk to Gandalf. Besides that, I'm not really sure. I just think it's more of like a, hey, I see you. Because every time Frodo has the ring on, you hear him, I see you.
Yeah.
So
good.
I gave him a personal mark of 9.
Yeah, I gave him a 5. You're obviously you're a bigger fan of Lord of the Rings than I am, but I gave him a 5 because I still love those movies.
Yeah, great films. Peter Jackson did a great job of interpreting the books into to a film, and they're never going to be matched as far as I'm concerned for quality of the movie making. Good job.
Your mind might change after next Thursday.
Yeah, we'll see.
My number 3 pick. Are you ready? It's your favorite asthmatic and mine, Darth Vader.
Gotcha.
Number 3.
Does he have asthma?
Yeah, and he's got that whole apparatus on his chest. He's got some really bad. He had some accident. His lungs got burnt. He's doing okay though.
Is he?
I don't know. In the scary category, I gave him a 8.
There you go.
Because while looking at a robot, is essentially kind of not scary. Paint black chrome all over at what 7 feet tall. Just looming, just absolutely terrifying. As a badass, I gave him an 8.
Okay.
For diabolical, I gave him an 8 as well. I think that's the way that he goes about handling things sometimes can be a bit diabolical. For kick-ass, I gave him a 5. Because he does kick some ass in the film, but he's mostly a more of a presence for being scary. Is that a fair assumption?
You gave him a what?
A 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought my headphones were broken there for a second. I thought you said 5.
I gave him a 5. I have a feeling you're going to have a rebuttal in a few picks. Your silence is telling me everything. Ruthlessness.
Listen, I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just here to
ruthlessness. I gave him a 9 because he's ruthless. Absolutely. And a personal grade of 8 because while he is a great villain, not the best villain in my opinion. For my number 2 pick is God of Mischief, Loki.
Listen, I can't argue with the pick. I love Loki as a character. I wish I could have given him a little higher mark. On my chart here, I'm looking at him. To me, he's not that scary of a character, and that killed him.
Yeah, I gave him a 6 in terms of being scary. Because while he can be frightening and intimidating at times, i.e. the Avengers, he doesn't exactly have the looming presence of, say, Darth Vader.
Sure. No, he was 1 point away from being tied with me and John Doe for the 5th place. So he was right there.
Good.
He was right out of my top 5.
Badassness, I gave him an 8.
I agree.
Case in point, look in the Avengers when he just throws a dude onto a slab of marble and just proceeds to rip out his eye so that way Hawkeye can steal something. Diabolical, I gave him a 9. What'd you give him?
Mm-hmm. I looked at my list. I gave him an 8.
Gave him an 8. So we were sort of in the same realm there.
Man.
Kick ass, I gave him a 7 because while he does kick ass, he doesn't kick a lot of ass.
I think he does kick ass though, and if you really look at all the films he's in, he's kicked some ass in all those films. Ass in Avengers, he's kicking ass in Ragnarok. He kicks ass in Thor: The Dark World too. I mean,
what did you give him in kick ass?
I gave him an 8.
Gave him an 8? Oh, all right. So we're not that far off from our opinions.
I just feel like he just kicks some ass.
Ruthlessness, I gave him a 7 because
really?
Yeah, well, his ruthlessness would have been a higher grade had he not had all those times when he appeared to show remorse or he was helping Thor or being one of the good guys. So that kind of knocked down a few of his points, but personally, how I feel about the character, I gave him a 10. No, I mean, like Loki is by far and away the best villain in the entire MCU. I don't think. I don't think there's even an argument that can be made. There might be after next week.
Right. Well, we'll see. To me, he's the equivalent of like a Dexter Morgan. He's that villain who really is an anti-villain or an anti-hero.
Yeah.
You kind of like him. You're rooting for him at the same time, even though he's doing bad shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Good comparison. I like it.
Well, you're welcome.
That's why I'm here. Rick, the world is dying to know what is your number 2 pick.
Well, Matthew, after long deliberation, hours of sweating this out, I finally had to come up with a pick, and I did. And it's a good pick. It's a good, solid pick.
Okay.
I make nothing but the best picks here. It took a while, but I finally came up with Hannibal Lecter. I had to.
Hannibal Lecter. Nice choice.
Yes,
I like
Hannibal Lecter.
I like the pick.
It's an excellent choice. I love this choice. I only make the best picks here on the Weekly Bros podcast.
The best.
So
the best picks.
I feel like this is one of the best picks. To me, as a kid, when I watched Silence of the Lambs, he scared the shit out of me.
Absolutely.
He's a scary character.
Yeah, no. I absolutely terrifying. But the things that I like most about that character is his gentleman swagger that he has, and
Right.
he's so knowledgeable. He's so suave and just the way that he carries himself. It's just
Right.
it's admirable, and it's weird for a cannibalistic serial killer to say that too.
Sure, and he's very close to my top pick, but he's not quite my top pick. But and the reason being is because he's really kick a lot of ass. It killed him.
Yeah, absolutely. So what did I give? Pretty good.
All he did was beat the crap out of those two prison guards and disembowel one of them and then cut the guy's face off. But in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion, which is non-binding, he doesn't kick a lot of ass.
Yeah, no, I gave him a 5 because he's middle of the road.
Yeah, I gave him a 3.
It's you see, I was nicer than you are, and he was lower on my list.
Well, that's why I got him a 10. It's scary. I have a 9 at the badass level because he is in charge of that scene. He is in charge of every situation.
Yep.
He knows what he's doing.
Yep.
He can see 10, 15 moves down the road. Everybody does exactly what they're supposed to do in his mind. So to me, you're a mental badass. You are in charge of the situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Balkaness and his ruthlessness, those are unquestionable 10s and 10s to me. I just can't see.
I gave him 9s, so we're on the same page there.
Yeah, I mean, for all the reasons I just talked about before, he's got high marks across the board. I gave him a personal grade of 10 as well. I just couldn't, I had to. I love that movie. I love the character. I loved everything about him. So
Man, that's
me, he's number 2.
Excellent pick. This is the moment of truth. This is the moment of clarity.
Maybe. It shouldn't be too clear if you've been listening to this podcast for any length of time who my number 1 pick is going to be.
I think yours is not going to surprise me. I think mine might surprise you.
I was hoping you were going to say mine is going to surprise me, which would mean you're going to surprise yourself here in 10 seconds.
Well,
because you don't know who you picked.
I did surprise myself when I did the calculations and I found out who my number 1 was.
I put it in the computer. I punched in the numbers. And it spit out crap.
That's. Oh yeah, I can do that, can I? All right, the drum roll starts.
Matt, can you get a drum roll for my number 1 pick, please?
Your drum roll here, and go.
It's Darth Vader.
Oh, I saw that coming 5,000 miles away.
I mean, how can you not?
How can you
not?
I mean, he was my number 3 pick. So I've gone down his accolades for myself. Tell us why he's your number 1 pick.
All right, I'm just gonna go through my bullet points. I'll just say it right off the top right here. We got top marks: 10 for scariness, 10 for being a badass, 10 for kicking ass. And that only got a 10 because of Rogue One, by the way, because as much as he does when he's in battle, he does kick some ass. Rogue One, he was a complete badass, and he kicked complete ass in the last 3 minutes of that movie. It was amazing. It summed up everything I wanted to see in a character. You know what happened to my, I got a little stiffy in my pants. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
it was amazing.
Hey, man, listen, when I saw that scene,
right,
it was absolutely just mind blowing. And I think that it was the best 5 minutes of Darth Vader ever on film.
Sure.
As far as I'm concerned.
So it's awesome. It makes me speechless because right now I don't know what to say about it besides the fact that it was awesome. Anyways, 10 for scary, 10 for badass, 10 for kick-ass, 10 for ruthlessness.
Uh-huh.
The only mark he did not get a 10 in for me was diabolicalness, and I gave him a 6.
Why the 6? That surprises me for you.
Because I don't think he's pure evil. And he does redeem himself at the end of Return of the Jedi. So is it complete redemption? No. I think in his mind, he's trying to redeem himself as much as he can.
Uh-huh.
So I think, to me, in the grand scheme of being a villain, he doesn't get a 10 like Hannibal Lecter does, because of course you can't give, no one's as crazy and diabolical as Hannibal Lecter.
Uh-huh.
So to me, I had to give him a downgrade, so I gave him a 6.
It's
total mark of 56. Let me just go through my bullet points here, because why not? First of all, he scared the crap out of me when I was younger. He's menacing. He's ruthless. He put the fear of God into people just by being in the room with those characters. I mean, you knew some of those characters were just scared to be in the same room with him.
Yeah.
He killed his mentor.
Yeah.
That's pretty messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he justifies himself throughout his movies. He feels like he's doing the right thing.
It's a sign of a great villain.
Right. Like I said, for the diabolicalness, he dropped down to a 6, because that, you kind of feel bad for him at the end of Return of the Jedi, because even when Luke talks to him on Endor, you can tell that it's too late for me. Luke's like, I can feel the conflict in you. I can still turn to, he's like, it's too late for me. Now I'm going to take it to the Emperor.
Yeah.
But he does end up killing the Emperor. So to me, it's a bit of a sympathetic churn, so I kind of feel bad for him. And like I said, my last bullet point was the best part for him was the last few minutes of Rogue One. Just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That's the Vader we all knew and wanted to see. He's the ultimate badass. And he's the number 1 villain on my list.
It's a very, very solid pick. He was in my top 5 at number 3. I think you're going to be surprised. I think I'm going to be surprised
too, because there better not be anything else that's out of my top 10.
All right. So, drum roll, please. And my number 1 pick is Voldemort. Voldemort from the Harry Potter series. He scored 10s in every single category.
Every category got a 10.
Every single category. Personal grade for me, I am a huge mark for Harry Potter. It's one of my favorite film series. It's one of my favorite book series. I'm a nut for it. I think that the stories that J.K. Rowling put out, she created such an immersive world that it rivals Star Wars, it rivals the comics, it rivals all of that. And I think that the stories that she's told and the way that they've been portrayed on screen, I think that those are some of the best ones.
I will say that for Voldemort, for all of his grades on my list here, because he did make my list, I think he ended up finishing 13th. He did. So I'm just trying to find him on my list. I had him, he's scary, he's got a 10 there. I gave him a 5 for being a badass. I mean, that in the personal I gave him a 2 just because, but I can tell you right now, because I did write this down. Not a huge fan of the character. Right there in the paper, Farva.
You're breaking.
I'm just not.
You're breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart. No, you're not.
And that really killed him. I just didn't. I like the Harry Potter movies. We've talked about this before at length. I like the movies. I'm not a fan of the character Voldemort.
It's you either love him or you hate him. To be honest.
Well, to me, he's kind of. God, I hate saying he's kind of a whiny bitch because Kylo Ren made my top 5, but
no, I mean, you realize that he's a whiny bitch though, so I mean, it's a fair point to make.
Yeah, I don't know.
So with the bullet points that I've got down, one of the big things that I find that can go in his scary category, his badass category, is that because I mean they all kind of run together with this character. He's been evil ever since he was young, since he was a small boy. He has been killing and manipulating and trying to gain power throughout his entire life.
Is his name Tom Riddle?
His name is Tom Riddle. Yes, that was his birthday.
This is what I want to make sure we're talking about the same.
Yeah. So he's
just for full disclosure, I have seen the movies. I have not read the books. And
well, the books are way better than the movies.
They always are.
I mean, I know that's a cliche to say, but they are. So the whole span of how long he has been evil is one of my criteria here. He's killed thousands of people, both Muggle and magical blood. His face is scary. I mean,
knowing's half the battle.
The dude walks around with slits for nostrils. He looks like he's like looks like he's almost translucent. He's weird. He's got the fingernails that, or he's got the hands like he's the mashed potato guy from Scary Movie 2. You know, he's weird. Would you like some mashed potatoes?
That's my weak hand.
That's my good hand. He's not afraid to kill on a whim. He tried to kill a fucking baby. He tried to kill Harry. He tried to kill a baby.
I'm not saying he's not.
I can't physically drop my mic, but I'm dropping it. He can possess others to do his bidding, which is always for evil intentions. He can curse others to do bidding for him. You know, he believes in genocide. He tore his soul into 7 pieces just to try to gain immortality. I mean,
how'd that work out for him, by the way?
He was defeated by a 17-year-old. But he had some help. I mean, don't get me wrong. The whole ridiculousness of Harry Potter is not lost on me. All right, I still enjoy the damn.
You know what was that? What was that thing? Okay. Sidebar. Why doesn't Harry Potter breaks his glasses? Why does he use his wand to fix his glasses?
Because he never learned the charm. It's explained in the books.
Stupid.
It's oculo reparo. I don't know if you know that or not.
No.
I had a feeling that you didn't.
All I know is something Patronus.
Oh, expecto patronum.
Expecto Patronus.
That's how you get rid of Dementors. You use your Patronus charm, and the Patronus blocks the Dementors away. It's a very, very advanced spell. Only high level witches and wizards can use that spell. So that was our top 5.
Loved it.
Rick, is there anything you would like to add before we wrap this whole bad boy up?
Yes, man. I want to hear you say that this is the totally arbitrary, completely subjective, non-definitive, all-time top 5 villains list here on the Weekly Bros podcast.
Rick, I couldn't have said it better myself. If you like what you hear, please like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you think of our thoughts below in the comments, and we will see you next week, maybe sooner. Who knows? You know, we're a weekly bro. We could be a daily bro. You never know. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time. What was the pick that you had that I was like, I didn't even think of it to put him on the list? He was so low.
Kylo Ren?
Yes, yeah, that was it. My God, man, I'm still flabbergasted by that. Oh my gosh, I still don't.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I went through it like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, can Kylo Ren really be in my top 10? Like, I don't really understand this. And I go through it again, and I'd be like, oh my God, now he's in my top 5. I can't win. God damn it.
Man, that's fucking hilarious.
On my first list, he's number 6.
Oh my God.
You know, it ended up being number 4.
I feel dirty with some of these things. Like, you know, like I love the Magneto character.
So nasty.
Nasty. So here are the ones that I was considering that had the highest marks out of any list that I had. So I had the Joker, Commodus, Kaiser Soze, Hans Gruber, Dr. William Weir. Can you guess what movie he's in?
Is that okay? I don't know. Is it from Doctor Strange? Not Doctor Strange, though. Dr. William Weir.
Yeah. It's the.
Oh, it's not the asshole does the Puppet Master, is it?
No. Dr. William Weir is the Sam Neill's character in Event Horizon.
Fucking scariest goddamn movies ever.
Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. I will put that at the top of my. See, there you go. There's my number 1 for our scariest movies of all time.
I'm telling you, if you watch Event Horizon and In the Mouth of Madness.
No, don't do that. Don't ever do that.
Yes, back to back.
No, don't do that.
On Friday the 13th, do it.
Oh my God, I don't know what Sam Neill was thinking, dude. He's like, why don't I just make the 2 scariest fucking movies of all times back to back?
Somebody was on Twitter, and I follow Sam Neill on Twitter. 2 Paddocks, by the way. He just posts dumb shit, but he's kind of funny once in a while. Anyway, someone made a comment about Event Horizon, and he was like, "Love making that film. It was great." glad you enjoyed it. You know, and it's just like because the people were commenting how it scared the shit out of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh God, I mean, I was like, I went to that movie not knowing it was going to be a horror movie. I thought it was just going to be like some sci-fi extravaganza thing, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I was terrified. I was genuinely, absolutely terrified.